Hey, Private Prepper here again. So I'd like to talk about mindset for preparing. And this is a little different mindset than I would normally put out or other people put out. But everybody's panicking about politics right now. Doesn't matter. This side's in charge, that side's in charge, the other side's in charge. Doesn't matter. What are you preparing for? Some people prepare for hurricanes. Some people prepare for tornadoes. Some people for winter. And while situational preparing is okay, and I'm even going to propose a different form of it right here, being more generalistic is probably a better idea. If I'm preparing for a tornado and the short-lived aspect of it, if I'm snowed in for 3 weeks, that tornado kit only helps the beginning, doesn't stretch out. So looking at emergencies and the majority of what we're discussing, there's something that covers about 95+% of all survival situations, of all preparedness problems. That's unemployment. And most of us in our lifetimes will be unemployed at one point or fashion. Unemployment, underemployment, call it what you will. You don't have the money. Okay. So taking a moment to look at, say, being underemployed. Suddenly you're scrounging money to pay your rent or your mortgage, whatever. You don't have the extra money to put into things like toothpaste. There's that toothpaste again. Or lavish amounts of food. You're buying, it's just the absolute essentials at the grocery. And as mentioned in the previous video, looking at Venezuela as an opportunity to learn. The people there are literally buying only what A, they can, but B, what they must have. It's all they can afford. So they're getting minimal calories, minimal amounts, and are surviving for the most part. So if we take it for ourselves that we may be unemployed or underemployed and still we got to eat, okay? What can we do? Well, pretty much every situation we come up with, if we have planned to be unemployed for a length of time, it's covered, okay? If we know that we're going to be planning for, say, 6 months of unemployment. Okay, we put enough money back for our bills for 6 months. Rent, power, gas, water, whatever. And I will say cell phone because, let's face it, the majority of us can't get away without having our cell phone for work, for family, for whatever, for watching YouTube. So put back 6 months of money for the bills. It's a challenge, but it can be done. Okay, now you don't have to worry about those bills. That takes a tremendous amount of stress off. Okay. If you have 6 months worth of food put back, now you don't have to worry about going to the store aside from a few fresh veggies or milk or something. You've taken that stress, that expense off the table. Now, what happens if you're in a hurricane? Well, as long as your house is still standing. Okay, is your work still there? Are you out of work, not able to get to work for a week or two? Your bills are still covered, you still have food. Okay, you get a phone to contact family and say, hey, I'm all right. Tornado, same thing. Your job is gone. The building vanished. You still got 6 months worth of food and money to cover your expenses. Guess what? If you're prepared to weather 6 months, a year, 2 years without income or lessened income, the old saying, would you like fries with that? May not pay the greatest, but it's pay coming in. So, take a minute, really focus on what you need for 6 months. I'll have another video kind of detailing how to really look at this, how to quantify it. But look at what you would need for unemployment for 6 months. There's a great thread on survivalist boards by a gentleman by the name of Montana Sean. And he was unemployed for a year, essentially unemployed for a year, mostly underemployed. And their stockpile dwindled by the end, and they still went to the store here and there for small things. But their preparedness stockpile got them through a year of hardship. And it's definitely something worth looking at. So, and let's be honest, there's a lot of people, like I said, in Venezuela, in the former Yugoslavia, who, like Selko Begovic, who spent a year in a city under siege. How much easier would his life have been for that year if he didn't have to try and scrounge food, if he didn't have to try and scrounge medicines, if he didn't have to try and come up with everything? Well, he wouldn't be an author today, I'm sure. And his stuff is worth looking for and reading and listening to. So, anyway, I'm going to cut this one short. I said, try to put out a few more videos and a lot shorter. So, Piper out.